Welcome back everyone to BSG Online 5, and I'm joined here by the one and only Street Boy Rebel Dragon 95, who has been part of the Street Boy crew at ESA, and he's going to show off Street Boys. Take it away.
Alright, hey guys, welcome to Street Boys, a random game that Ricky found in a PS2 bin back in 2018. Before I start, I need to just show off some amazing translation. So, if you go into the menu here and you don't change anything, it tells you to not set up. But if you go in here and you decide to, change something, it tells you to set up to one's own way. But, because I don't like vibrations, I'm going to quickly go back and turn it off and then we can get started. So, the category I'm doing here is called NG Plus All Stages. So the reason why we tend to do New Game Plus in this game is because by S ranking certain stages you get certain items which allow you to run a lot faster and also do a lot more damage. And also it allows us to get to max level, which also helps us out with damage and extra HP and things like that. So there's 11 stages. We have to visit a few of them twice because they have different exits. So just going to quickly go to where the first level starts. So we start timing when we enter the first level. Give me a second here. Right. Partner. So we go to Ginji. Right. So, let me get through this. So the only way to get in there is to get captured, okay? Take off a weapon, quiet court, or I won't go. So we're going to get quiet court. So if you're already on time there, Tech, I will go in 3, 2, 1, go. So here we go. So welcome to the discrimination office, or as I tend to call it, the prison. And we're going to run through this stage. So we're going to run through this stage twice because there's 2 exits. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here. That guy decided not to give me what I wanted. So there's normally a clip you can go for here. It says about 4 seconds. RTA, it's a bit slower, IGT, but we time RTA for this, so run around those guys. If that guy swings, it takes too much time to set up the clip, so there's not a lot of point. Alright. Other than that, right, so some specifics with this game. I can't turn the camera is automatic and changes at specific points. Oh yeah, you have to press the third switch in that room. There's nothing to tell you where, why, or why, or what the third switch does, but it opens that door. Anyway, so I can't move the camera. I can center it by pressing L2, but it looks really jank. Another specific of this game is actually how the running works. So the running was actually worked out by a guy called Big the Dave, who started making a fan game based on Street Boys, and he wanted to emulate the movement. So the reason why it's hard to move in straight lines and stuff in this game is because this game doesn't utilize any dead zones. You have full access to all your movement at any one time. So any little jitter just moves you. Anyway, this is the boss fight. Yeah, that was a boss fight. And cool. So I'm mashing circle and X, which is grab and jump at the end of every fight. Because if you do that, it can end things a few frames earlier than just mashing one or the other. But the reason why we do it is because there is a animation and a jingle that plays if you let it play out, and that counts towards... So, and it straight up just loses you time. Get in there. Alright, cool. So we have to go back in here again. Sadly, I switched to Mayuki, so we only use Ginji for the first stage. Then I switched to Mayuki because we use her for the rest. So hopefully this guy doesn't swing at me. Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a step towards this gate. And when I get towards the gate, I'm going to run here. Neutral jump, he runs into the back of me and I get pushed through the wall. So that's a jump clip. So that's one of the types of clips that we discovered fairly early on when we were playing this game. I was one that figured out the consistent way of doing it, which was the whole neutral jumping, because we used to have a really inconsistent way of doing it, which involved jumping into walls and doors and such. But I worked out that if you just neutral jump and let an enemy walk into you, you go in every time. So, yep. Cool. No cherishing for me. Oh, I forgot to turn off Discord noises. That's a big rip from me. Sorry, guys. If I get a chance, I will do it, but I probably won't get a chance. There's no downtime during this run. So I'm going to go over here. 1, 2, and do that. Cool. So that is a different way of doing quick kills. So the third hit of both your punch combo and the sword combo, which I'm going to start using in a minute, have just a wide range of hitboxes that just deal a lot of damage when they're timed at the same time as your partner's super move. It works with Mayuki's because hers has such a long hitbox. Oh god, I didn't do my movement right there. Because I forgot to do my movement right because I was talking. So yeah. So that's we use that a couple of times throughout the run. But anyway, welcome to Gurren Street. The music here is an absolute bop. So we're gonna bop out to this for a minute. So this is where I get the True Wooden Katana, and the True Wooden Katana actually gives me plus 15 strength onto my base 22. The True Wooden Katana has like a lot of shit like around it. Oh nice, I got the jump. But basically the truest thing with it is that all the strats that we have only work because of the True Wooden Katana. If you get hit or get knocked down, specifically a hard knockdown, you get knocked up in the air or you get knocked to the ground, and you will and you normally lose your sword. There's some specific instances where it doesn't happen, but it's like very unlikely. I try not to lose the sword throughout here. There's plenty of enemies that want to take the sword away from you, so we just have to avoid them. So as you can see, I run past all the enemies because I outspeed all of them. So I'm going down here. This is when the chorus kicks in. The chorus is hella good. Skip that cutscene as if I can do this. I did it! Right, so here's a little trick you can do. You can go around the loading zone to the back and play about a bit. It does nothing but lose you time, but it's nice to show it off. Right, so something else with this game is you need to memorize where the camera is going to be whenever you go into any room. So I know where the camera is at the start of every single room and where I have to be holding. Because of the specifics of how running works, especially with like your jittery movement and how to maintain, during most loading screens, I'm actually okay, I jumped the wrong direction there. I'm actually holding the stick with both thumbs to try and do it. So, yeah. Right, so here's another boss. I'm going to run forward, hold triangle, and body him like that. Cool. Right, so I have to go into this stage again because there's an alternative exit, and we get to see the same boss again, but a different strat, because he's basically a hard mode version. So, I mentioned earlier about having all these items and stuff. So by S ranking stages, you get items. But specific stages that have multiple exits, you can only get the S rank by going down the alternative exit or the hard route, basically. So that's why these alternative routes exist for the earlier stages, because that's where you need to, because they basically want you to earn the S rank rather than get it for free on the first visit. Because the items that you get are pretty broken. You get speed tickets for one, which run faster. You get strength ups. You get weapons. Oh, okay, I messed up there. Big rip on me. I jumped the wrong direction because I got bodied by the camera switch. So yeah, so that's why I'm doing that. I'm going to this stage. So what are some other specifics about this game? Oh yeah, it's a name. So, a bit of background about this game is that Street Boyz is a game that's only available in the PAL region under the name Street Boyz. So it only came out in Europe and not in America. But this game was originally a Japanese game under the Simple 2000 series, which the Simple 2000 series is a bunch of plainly cheaply made video games that costed 2,000 yen. They had a Simple 1000 series, which were cheap games that cost 1,000 yen. So these were like pure budget games, and some of them made it overseas. Some of them made it to America, not Europe. Some of them made it to Europe and not America. So the original game that this was a game under the name of Ultimate Simple 2000 Series, Volume 21, Kenka Johto Yankee Bancho, which Europe went, nah, that's too long, slap Street Boyz on it and ship it. Because, you know, that's what we do. We play Street Boyz. Right, so now on the alternative path, we get introduced to more Molotov guys that are actually deadly. So Molotov guys are an instant knockdown if they hit you with their Molotov, and it sucks, and they're RNG, and they are so annoying. So you have to be prepared for them. They're in the same places every time, so you know where they are. The safest bet 95% of the time is jumping. Sometimes you jump and they get you anyway, but 95% of the time jumping is safe. There are 3 there, but they're not very like deadly. Go around here, jump kick. So I missed a jump kick. So what the jump kick actually does is it gives you a tiny height boost. I messed it up a little bit there because I didn't jump fully. Alright, so let's see if I can do this boss strat. I was practicing it before the run started, so... Step 1, 2, 3. Cool, got the boss strat. I didn't get the lagless version, but I did get the strat to work. So yeah. So that, much like the 5th one I did in the second visit to prison, the 3rd hit of my combo just has a really long and large hitbox, so when you time it at the same time, it just bombs out damage. So, cool. So the route I take now is I'm gonna go to the hospital. So there's 2 routes you can take. You can either go street, you can either go to the school, hospital, then background, but I like to go hospital, subway, and then to the school. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the sword because I don't need it for this stage. I'm gonna bait these guys over here, run towards the wall, jump, and they push me through. So this is how the stage is gonna go. So this stage is actually a puzzle stage based around opening blue and red doors by pressing buttons. But yeah, we're speedrunners. We don't do that in this house. So I'm going to try to bait these girls. I have to bait them all the way over here, but that doesn't normally work. So I have to grab them. So another type of clip you can do is a throw clip. So I'm going to flag against the wall, tap, tap. Oh, I messed up the angle. Cool. Got the angle that time. So you can throw enemies at walls and then hold towards the wall and you'll just get pushed through. The angle for common thugs or the male enemies that you fight is free as hell. You can throw them in like the Nile River and you'll 90% of the time you'll get through. It doesn't matter where you throw them. But females actually have like specific angles that you have to throw them at, or like they don't, or it doesn't let you through. I don't know why they're different. I think it's related to their hitbox differences with how their character models are designed. But yeah. So what I'm going to do now is, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either run up right or left and do a super, but for consistency's sake, I'm just going to do the team one. This loses about 4 to 5 seconds, but it's a little bit more consistent than going for the YOLO super there. Right, so something I've actually been doing on the map is you can actually move with both the stick and the D-pad directions. So, and the stick actually overwrites the D-pad directions, so I can run in 2 directions at the same time, which makes turning on the first frame of the corners like really, really easy. So I do that as much as I can throughout the stages. Right, so now we're in Subway. So we're going to go around these enemies. So Subway is notorious for being annoying because when you get past this first bit, there are bikers, and bikers suck. So bikes are kind of hard to dodge, and they will just knock you down and take your sword from you. So I'm just going to jump over them. Ultimately, you don't need to jump, you just avoid them, but because I don't want to risk losing my sword in the slightest, I'm going to jump over them regardless of if they're going to hit me or not. You lose about probably like half a second to a second, like every time you jump, really, because you lose speed, then you have to regain it. But like, it's definitely worth it to not lose your sword, because you lose way more time losing the sword than you do just jumping. So I also picked up a Hitmax there. The icon for that is the Thug Monthly magazine, if you want a bit of background there. So you pick up Thug Monthly magazine and it powers you up. Right, so something else, right, is when you're holding the sword, you actually can't really do throw clips because you can't grab something else while you have the sword. You do the grab animation, but you can't really do much with it. So what I'm going to do in this room is I'm going to run in here, try and bait this guy over here. Right, do it this guy, try and bait him over here. And you let me through, nice. So I just skipped an entire fight there that you're meant to do. Because when you complete that fight, it opens the door, but you can just run up through and click through the door. We'll do that. I'll try and do that once more in this stage, but it can be kind of inconsistent because it all depends on whether Mayuki decides to be a hero or not. Right, so here's where the enemies get annoying. They like to hit you in the butt with their fireballs. Cool, I dodged it there. This room's kind of annoying, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Cool, that kind of worked. So the whole reason why we use Mayuki is because when she gets knockdowns on enemies, her super actually, when it kills, it gives you a faster enemy despawn animation than when you hit enemies. So I lost a little bit of time there to me having to hit her, but it wasn't that bad. So I'm going to go over here. Cool, another clip. And I skipped an entire another fight there. Right, so now we have to run through the underground of the subway here. Go around there. Go around there. Go around there. I'm not going to reset the camera here to make sure I'm in the right place. Then I'm going to just hold right here. Alright, so we're coming up to a boss now. Oh, and I'll have to read what that says next time, but it says the enemy stench is stronger than usual, so I'm going to kick, kick, kick. Oh my god. Right. I got 2 kicks there, which means our super will kill. So luckily, even though I got hit and lost the sword, the super's damage is not actually based on your weapon damage, it's based on your base strength. So as long as you get the 2 kicks there while you're holding the sword, because the kick's affected by the strength buff that the sword gives you, you're fine. It doesn't really matter. So here I'm going to hold right on the D-pad, press up there, so I'm walking in that direction, so I'm holding up, and then I'm going to hold down. So as you can see, I was walking left while walking upwards, because you can press multiple directions and run in multiple directions at the same time on the map. There are some specifics around it. For some reason, when you're doing it, you can't go past levels. It, like, stops you. I can't explain why, but it does. So I'm going to do that. Oh, God. Oh, I lost my sword instantly. So this is going to be a fun stage now. Luckily, I don't need the sword for the boss, but it's kind of annoying not to have it for the whole stage. I tried to guard, but guard in this game is R1. I pressed L1 like a dummy. That's why I got hit. It doesn't matter too much. It only loses you like maybe 10 or so getting bodied like that. So, oh, and also you get to see the funny run animation again. Move out of the way, guys, please. Right, so we're going to run down here. There's 2 Molotov guys here. Jump over them because they like to throw in weird orders. So I have to kill the big thugs. Well, Moki didn't spawn right away, but she did her super, but at the wrong time. So I have to go around, beat up these big thugs, and go get keys. Only specific big thugs have the keys. You can actually clip through all the doors that require keys. But for some reason, when you collect the keys, you have to collect them in like the specific order, or the game doesn't let you do it. It doesn't let you like open up the mission thing, because we found ways to clip through the doors and such, but like you just can't. It just doesn't let you, because you have to collect all 3 of them in order to get the key for the gymnasium, which is where we're going. Because of how the game was designed. Damn, those guys can't let us, like, you know, go uber fast. Right, so the reason why I didn't need my sword is because we're actually going to be using Mayuki for the majority of this. So Mayuki super is incredibly good, and this is just some waves of common thugs. So we're going to try use Mayuki to do it. Right, the issue that we have is Mayuki actually has 2 different attacks that she can do. She has the spin, but she also has a she also has one that she can do with just moving her just by walking the dog in midair. That was perfect, by the way. Where like she just spins her yo-yo in the air. Right, so now we have to go back into school. There's a nice short level we got to do in the school now, which which if you were at ESA ESA Summer 2019, this is the this was the hype stage that you probably heard in the background the entire week.
Oh man, I remember this.
All right.
I was there, man. I was there.
I was there. I was there. I was there. Right. So this is a if you're an ESA goer, there's a very famous stage that got busted open by, like, we found so many strats during the ESA because there were so many people just playing this game. It was actually beautiful. It was so good to be a player of this game. 3, 4, 5, 6. Working. It's going to be like a 27. That was not very good. Right, cool. So that's that stage. So Cool Kid at ESA 2019 found a strat that could possibly get you a 24 there, but I can't really do it that well, so I've never really done it. Not gonna lie, I'm really bad at it. Right, so welcome to Tennu Quarter. So Tennu Quarter is quite a difficult stage. It's probably one of the least consistent in the run. So the real problem is there's a bunch of clips that I need to go for. The first one is basically a YOLO. So this one here, I'm going to try and get the large dudes to push me through. But it can be kind of annoying. They also have a move where they spin kick and knock you down. You went through there? Cool, I got through. Took 3 jumps, but at least I didn't lose my weapon. Nice. One over there. Go 1, 1, 2. 2 hits that. Scare them. So I'm going to beat this guy over here. Jump there. And that skips the end of that fight because Mookie literally can't do enough damage to him by the time you get over here. So this is a great bit at this level. We grabbed a key to go up a lift to go down on the other side because, you know, apparently a door is hard. So normally I hold up right here, but for some reason there's nothing here, but this game likes to lag here. So I'm going to just hold forward. Oh, a chunk. Normally I don't do that because that just loses time. But oh my god, I don't know why it lags so hard there, but the game always lags there. Right, so here's more of these dudes. These dudes are annoying, so 1, 2, 3. Moku take them down, and then I run up here. So this next strat was actually found by my good friend Wardrums. Wardrums is like the god for finding strats in this game, because I had an idea of how this strat worked, and then he's the one that worked out the setup for it. So I'm going to lock onto this guy. And when he does his special move there, I'm going to do my super. And much to our surprise, counter hits exist in this game. So when you get a counter hit, your super does double damage because it hits twice. So we can take out both the bosses while also avoiding the stare down on the lady. So all the strats I've been doing have been to avoid stare downs. So I'm likely to get one on this next stage because this stage is kind of hard. So here's Harbour. I don't like this stage. I'm going to... You have to run down this strip where there are bikers and tons of enemies. So I'm going to try and jump over the bikers and just avoid them in general. I don't know how I got away with that. That was cheeky. I will accept. Yeah, you know what? My punishment was justified there. I should not have got away with it the first time. So this will make this stage a little bit slower. It's kind of hard to keep your weapon here. Like for a world record run, you need your weapon. But luckily, there's a backup one here, which I can just grab. It's a little bit less power, but it's still okay for doing this. Right, so this entire section is a maze. I have to do something here. Oh my god, I messed up my movement there. So I have to do something here that's not very good in this game, and that's platforming. So I have to set myself up here. There you go, I got up there. Cool. And the jump kick there just gives me enough height to get over. And that basically skips the entire puzzle element and platform and all the platforming that requires you to do. So there's a short force fight here I've got to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is already poop. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do that. Oh. 2, 3, 4. And I should finish him off. Nice. I kind of pooped that, but that was fine. So, here is the boss of this stage, which is a giant digger. So I'm going to throw barrels at it, but I need to do it in like a specific order, or this doesn't work. Where did that barrel go? No, Mayuki, why would you eat a barrel like that? Oh, this is not going well. I'm going to wait for him to do stare down. Okay. So this is what stare down looks like. I messed up that completely. So this stare down skip's actually really specific and like has specific timings and such. But yeah, this stare down. I'm going to win the stare down. He gets stunned. Luckily, when an enemy is in the stare down position, they actually take more damage. So, Mayuki, why would you do that? Mayuki, stop getting in the way. She just ate like 3 explosive barrels to the face. Why would you do that? Why? Alright, anyway, that was that stage. That was really poop. That stage is really hard to just, get right. So, I can't complain about that stage. So now we're actually coming up to the final stage of the run. So we're coming up on the Sunshine Building. So Sunshine Building actually starts with a fight skip because, who does fights in their speedruns, right? So we're going to skip the first fight by doing another jump clip. So I'm going to go around here, bait these enemies. Do that. Cool beans. Right up there. There's actually a seam on those stairs that you can run through. It does nothing other than, lose you time because you have to find a way to get out of it. But you just jump and you can get out of it. But yeah, there's like a tiny seam that you can run through. Most stairs are like that in this game. You can clip through most of them, but the line is incredibly specific. Normally I get it because apparently I'm good at just losing time in general, but So anyway, welcome to Sunshine Building. Sunshine Building is kind of a daunting stage. It's the longest stage in the run. It's very long. There's a lot to it. But most of it is actually just running in a specific way. So I'm going to try dodging these guys. So the way I'm going is actually just where you need to go. So there's actually 2 different routes you can take in this stage. There is the route which I'm going to take where you take a lift to basically skip 9 floors of fights. But if you're a masochist or you're going for the S rank, which you need to do to get the Truwood and Katana, you can go through 9 floors of fights, and it is legitimately 9 floors of fights. We did actually try and work out, we did actually find ways to clip through all the doors, but if you sequence break too much content in this game or glitch it up too much, the game doesn't like it. Eventually it just despawns the stairs to the next area, so you run through them and just out of bounds. From what I remember seeing people doing. Also, cheat engine's hilarious with this game as well. I can't remember what the weapon is, but there's like an invisible sword weapon that hits every enemy on the floor that you're on, and it just sounds hilarious. It just lags the game out. It's so funny. All right, so this floor here, we hold up left to go through. Get caught on a wall because of course I do. And I'm gonna run around here. Run up and around here. So after this, we get to a we're going to take a lift at the end of this floor, and we get faced with 6 Molotov guys. Don't get hype if I get past them once. We got to go past them twice. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. We have to get past them twice. So it's kind of annoying. So I have to go to one room, pick up the lift key, then go back to another room to do it. Right. So I have to be careful here because Molotovs can get thrown and hit you in the butt, and that's kind of booty. So what I'm going to do is go around here, up here. Right. So I'll point out the door, and the game literally goes, "Are you sure you want to take this way?" Basically, it just asks you, "You sure you want to take this way?" So I'm going to go around here. It's this door on the left. This black door on the left. It opens and goes, "Are you sure?" But there's a lift key right here that lets you skip from the 52nd floor all the way to the final boss. So, yeah. We're going to do that because we're speedrunners and we don't want to fight all those enemies.
While you're skipping all those enemies, do you have time for a quick donation?
Yes, we do.
All right, excellent. We got a €5 donation from Manix86, which says, "Hi Rebel, I'm so sorry, but this is going to the for the undies incentive. That's why it's an option, right?" Which is, yeah, Rebel Dragon will be back in like 5 hours after this run, doing Spider-Man, and as it looks now, he'll be doing the heist in his undies.
I mean, undies normally wins the suit bid war. Like, everyone wants to see Spidey in the undies.
I mean, it's the best costume.
I mean,
completely
obviously.
understand.
Alright, so we're coming up on the final boss now. So time is at the end of this fight. It's on fade out, I will call it. Just give me a second to concentrate. I hit him twice. Hit him twice again. Oh, my Yuki kind of got bodied there. I'm going to get a stare down here because my Yuki bodied me there. I can't believe I didn't get a stare down. I messed that up completely because she wasn't close enough, but whatever. Time. I completely messed up that fight. Actually complete messed up. But that fight's really hard and really like specific to get right. I just messed up my timings on everything because I pressed the wrong button. Right. So anyway, that was Street Boys. Thank you for the GG. This is a really fun game actually. There hasn't been too much activity on this game since ESA 2019 because we tend to have more fun when there's tons of us just playing this together. Because for some reason it just kind of brought together a huge community. So shout outs to all the other Street Boys guys. There's too many people to like list off fully, but people like Six, Ricky, War Drums, JP, those guys, some of the original guys, and Punchy as well. Grump here also did some Street Boys when he was at ESA as well. So
I had Tide World Record until it lowered.
Tide World Record until it lowered. So yeah. Anyway, so that was me from Street Boys. I'll be back a little bit later with Spider-Man. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for that run. I just love how janky and breakable this game is. It's a great watch every time. Yeah, before we head off to the intermission, I do want to point out that we still do have we have Spore 2008 coming up, and you can still name the creature or the planet. There's no donations on any of those yet, so you can still snipe it. Make the planet, yeah, call something weird or so, or call the creature Street Boy.
Hell yeah.
That way we still have Street Boys in our hearts as we go through Spore. So yeah, let's go over to the intermission. We'll be playing a few ads and we'll be setting up for Spore.